The exhibition has been in process for almost 3 years now. And really, it started because the chief curator of the Art and Culture Center in Hollywood attended a talk we're talking 2019, where I presented the choral sonata, which was the soundscape that one of our residents, Caecilia Tripp, with sound architect Kerwin Rolland, created as the outcome of their time spent here in Miami. And Meaghan was really fascinated by the concept of being able to somehow transfer and transmit the agony of coral and coral reefs through the medium of sound, and really bring the importance, the beauty, the fragility of corals to audiences through sounds. And we talked about how could we feature this within her institution, and I suggested to maybe just do an entire exhibition focused on coral, because I knew that we had some fantastic talent in Miami and artists who were specifically doing research and magnificent work that was inspired by coral and coral reefs. And that's really how it happened. We started collaborating, we started a dialogue. I introduced Meaghan, who then became a co-curator of the exhibition, to Beatriz Chachamovits and Shapiro. They were, I would say, two of the first artists that I immediately thought about when we decided to do something that was specifically focused on coral, because their practice has been first dedicated to coral and coral reefs and nature, climate change, and how that is impacting these beautiful marine ecosystems. From there, I was aware of Morel Doucet. I didn't know him in person. I had never worked with him, but I had seen some of his coral-focused sculptures that he was working on, for about 3 or 4 years. And it made sense to invite him as well. It happens that the three of them actually all have studios at the Bakehouse, and they are often collaborating because they have similar practice to the extent of the kind of medium that they use, which is clay and ceramic. But what I find fascinating is that the output is actually quite different. You would think that an artist working in ceramic and about coral, it would kind of all look the same. I was always blown away to see how different their works are and how different their aesthetics are, even though, again, they are dealing with a very specific topic. Caecilia, Tripp, and Kerwin Rolland obviously were, again, the first artists, and I would say the genesis of the exhibition. And I'm really thrilled to be able to show this choral sonata, Expanded Reefs, for the first time with the public. We started Art Sale in 2015, 2016, and I always struggle to find what I call the so what element. When we do the residencies are very private. They're one-on-one. The artists, I connect them with scientists. We do expeditions. We go diving, snorkeling. We spend time on the water. And with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 public outreach programs, we don't really have the opportunity to share a lot of their practice with audiences. So what has been really important for Art Sale is to think about what outcome is the artist producing as a result of their time with us here in Miami, and how can we then share that outcome with audiences to bring forward our discussion, our point of view, and hopefully solutions that help communities not just being aware of what the issues are, but also provide tools about how can we make things better. And the soundscape, I think it's a very abstract work, if you wish. It's probably the least directly related to coral. But just knowing that it was created through a series of expeditions that we've done in between Miami and Key Largo, diving and snorkeling and recording with hydrophones sounds of marine life around coral reefs that were both healthy coral reefs, the few that we still have left, as well as damaged and dead coral reefs. And then the sounds were mixed with some anthropogenic sounds that we recorded at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. And that was because for the artists, it was really crucial to connect the dots and really understand that sea level rise and coral reef dying have an impact with the community that are living in Miami, and climate gentrification is one of them, and Little Haiti is one of the communities that is mostly affected by it. And so by bringing in this beautiful sounds of drumming and singing from a Haitian singer and drummer, we kind of managed to merge conceptually these two ideas into one artwork. And let's see, the other artist is Elaine Defibaugh. And Elaine also I've known for a while. She has a studio at Fountainhead. And her story is fascinating. She used to be a diver. She can no longer dive, but her interest and affection and love for the ocean hasn't diminished. And so what she does now, she goes into museums like the Frost Science, for example, that have this beautiful aquarium, and take photographs of marine life within these aquarium settings. Then she prints them on either aluminum or fabric and marks them with glow-in-the-dark marker. And so when lit with black light, which luckily we were able to do at the Art Center, you really feel like you're immersed into an aquarium, or it kind of replicates the experience of night diving, which is really beautiful and fascinating. And the last artist in the exhibition is a collective called AMLgMATD, and they kind of border graphic design, furniture, and art making. And I really like that hybrid approaches. And what we presented here, it's a new iteration of series of flags that were done for the Save Biscayne Bay campaign that we started last year in collaboration with the Clio Institute and Miami Waterkeeper. And essentially it was a campaign where we produced t-shirts to bring awareness to the issues that Biscayne Bay is facing, and just so that people would understand why this horrific fish kill that we had in 2020 happened, what has been done by the cities and various parties to improve the situation. And so we commissioned essentially artists to create t-shirts. AMLgMATD was one of the two artists we work with. And from working with this graphic on t-shirts, we asked them to create flags that were for the first time presented last year at a weekend event that we did for World Oceans Day. And then when this opportunity came about doing the show in Hollywood, I invited them to expand on the graphic, and we presented these new flags at the Art Center in the exhibition.